You've come just at the right time.
It looks like we'll eat and drink our fill before going into battle, eh?
It'll be mostly a lot of pointless small talk, if you ask me.
You're not looking forward to the feast?
I'm fed up with this waiting. I'd rather set out right now and wring the fuckers' necks one by one. And above all, I want to put that lying fraud from Nebakov in irons.
That makes two of us. We'll get him. Don't worry. I'm sure Von Bergov has good reasons for caution.
I hope so. And I'd rather get this messenger business off my back too.
Well, get back to enjoying life without the tiresome duties of a nobleman.
You bet. We'll live it up when we get back home. But now, let's go and hear what Sir Otto has to say to us.
I'm hoping for some good drink and crispy roast meat while we listen.
Let's go then, before there's nothing but bones and empty pitchers left.
Lord Capon and his page. At last.
Good evening, friends. Join us, please, and sample what our kitchen has to offer. Wench, pour Lord Capon some wine.
We have excellent Hungarian wine, sir.
Thank you. I won't say no. I'll be glad to drink to our upcoming victory over that rabble from Nebakov. And perhaps to an alliance against other such saboteurs throughout the Kingdom of Bohemia?
Well said. Just what I like to hear. What do you say to that, Ulrich?
It is certainly gratifying to hear a young lord expressing such concern for our country's fate.
True. It is admirable that you are determined not to betray your Uncle Hanush's trust. Our agreement stands, of course. But I'd like to remind all of you here that politics is mainly about making the right compromises, not hasty decisions.
Politics is truly complicated, sir. But every good servant's priority should be his master's well-being. And the master we'll serve is King Wenceslas.
Well said. It seems Hanush and Redzig have an eye for capable and eloquent servants. As soon as we are finished with that rebel, I shall write a reply to your letter. But now to the business at hand, my friends. We discussed this long and hard, but we came to the conclusion that the best thing would be to catch them by surprise. And for that reason, we will set out for Nebakov at the crack of dawn tomorrow.
And we will string up the insolent bastard who commands the bandits from the nearest tree.
More wine, Lord Chamberlain?
No, thank you. The Lord Chamberlain needs a clear head. He will lead the assault on the fortress.
What? Sorry, sir. But did you say we'll be under Ulrich's command?
Who else? My captain is injured, and I am expecting an important visit. Unfortunate.
Aha. And may I know what the Lord Chamberlain's plan is?
Of course you may. It's nothing complicated. We'll pass through the Trosky Gorge early in the morning and reach the fortress unobserved. A quick charge will get us over the palisade and we'll catch that rabble by surprise. They won't know what hit them. Ha ha!
I'm sorry, sir. But isn't that kind of frontal assault needlessly risky?
Risky? Peasants with pitchforks could handle that rabble. Have no fear, Lord Capon.
Well, that wouldn't be my plan.
Sorry, sir, but I think my lord here has more experience of soldiering than your Chamberlain. He fought with valor during the conquest of Pribyslavitz and the siege of Talmberg, and I think he'd be more useful.
I have no doubt Lord Capon is very experienced for someone his age. But I'd rather entrust my forces to someone more mature. You're not offended, I hope. Ulrich.
Oh, perish the thought, sir.
It's thanks to the Lord Chamberlain that this castle is standing. I have complete faith in his abilities.
My friend, send your servant to the smithy for armor and to see
Catherine, sir.
to see Catherine for wine for the journey. We'll move out as soon as the sun rises. Be so kind and get me another pitcher of the Hungarian wine, will you?
As you wish. Just a moment, Lord Chamberlain.
I promise, sir, that this will be my last wine today. The next wine I drink will be to celebrate our victory. Ha ha ha!
Your health, then, gentlemen. Eat, drink, and be merry. But don't overdo it. Tomorrow, I expect you to display your knightly valor for our rightful and joint cause.
Anything else you need?
I'd like to speak to Sir Otto.
Certainly. What is it, Henry?
Would I be right in assuming nobody else knows about the content of our message yet?
Correct. And that is how it will stay, until I decide on my reply to Hans.
What about the League of Lords? Do you think you'll convince the other nobles as well?
Careful now, young man.
The war hurts everyone without exception. And that is why it has to stop. Everyone agrees on that. Each one of us has to consider what he can do for peace in the land. You can show what you can do tomorrow, when we settle scores with those bandits.
We'll make short work of them.
I'll try not to let you down, sir.
Certainly. We will talk tomorrow when it's over. I do not let capable men go unrewarded, Henry.
Ah, junger Mann, komm her!
How do you like the company here? Is this your idea of fun? You're criminally sober.
I wouldn't mind a few more feasts like this now and then. Have you tasted the Hungarian wine?
I remain on duty, so I can't. But when I see how the others are enjoying it, sacre, I miss Prague.
You're a regular martyr. For my part, I'll be happy to have a drink. On your behalf as well. What was Von Bergov doing in Prague?
He's the royal chamberlain, so he's in charge of collecting taxes from royal towns and monasteries. And he was negotiating with the League of Lords as well, of course.
What? He promised he'd support the proposal of Hannes of Lipa.
Maybe, but he can hardly call off negotiations with Rosenberg and the other powerful lords. Politics isn't blind man's buff. Besides, you only gave him the message after he came back from Prague, didn't you?
Do you know what the negotiations in Prague were about?
No, because I'm not a spy.
But personal bodyguards often hear all kinds of things, don't they?
Well, Hohenstein and Riesenberg are quarreling over some nonsense in Saxony. Lichtenberg is trying to play both sides, and the mighty Rosenberg is scheming against everyone. Aye, and Bocek of Kunstadt is looking for a husband for his niece, Jitka. She's pretty, so it won't take long.
I thought the League of Lords was supposed to be united.
What? Then? No chance. Having too many roosters in the yard always ends badly.
Have you heard the plan of attack?
No. Ulrich is keeping it all close to his chest.
Not that there's any point.
I noticed that your lord isn't too fond of the Chamberlain.
That's one way of putting it.
Sir Otto respects him, and I trust him. But it's true, Ulrich is a bit strange.
He's a conceited fool, you mean?
If it's glory that you seek, you cannot be shy and meek.
Do you know the other guests?
They're noblemen from these parts, but I don't know them personally. That cheerful little fellow in the middle is Hermann Palitz, known as Littlehead. Pity you didn't see his performance on the barrel. Thankfully, the barrel gave way before Littlehead.
And the other one? The thin one?
Florian of Lomnitz, a famed wit, fair of face and well-spoken. The ladies swoon. For all he could care, well, we'll see what kind of company he prefers in the end.
What about you and the local women folk? Got your eye on anyone?
Come off it. I'd have to stand in line behind Herman and his ilk. I'd rather have a drink with you.
I never say no to a pretty woman.
Eat, drink, and be merry. If you've wine but don't drink, or have grapes but eat gruel, don't be surprised if I call you a fool.
Junger Mann, komm her!
You must be that Henry from the Lord of Lipa, eh?
What would you like, gentlemen?
We're just talking about the ambush on Lord Von Bergov's men.
Apparently, it was the same man who attacked your company by the pond.
Aye, no doubt about it. It's the same band of troublemakers.
Who got the better of you twice, eh?
Zweimal?
That's right. They say that at Nebakov, Lord Capon parleyed with someone pretending to be old Nebak. But in fact, it was none other than the leader of those disgraceful scoundrels.
Dann ist es ja kein Wunder that puffed-up Capon won't talk to us. He's afraid we'll make fun of him.
I'm sorry, sir, but Lord Capon did nothing wrong. It wasn't his fault.
Watch your tongue. You don't want Henry to take offense and fly off the handle again?
Ja, du hast recht. I went too far. If I've offended you, Henry, we can settle scores. I'm at your service, but if you'd rather try your luck, we can have a game of dice. That strikes me as a better option than going at each other with swords. Wie war das? Do you play dice, friend?
I understand. Let's play then. But I'm warning you, you'll lose your shirt.
We'll see about that, Bursche. I give no quarter.
I'm very curious about you.
Terrible times. The burgers will buy us all out one of these days. Someone should clip their wings.
But Wenceslas won't do it because he loses allies against the high nobility.
Right! That pack of thieves are bribing him to get our knightly titles.
It's a shame Lord Soccer had such bad luck a year.
Only yesterday. Too right. We should have beaten the life out of them.
So that's your plan, is it?
Have to have a bit of sense and count the dice.
That's what Whose idea was that?
I won't remember much of it.
Here.
Master Cook here is an absolute treasure.
The cook is a woman, my lady, and she's worth her weight in gold.
Schön. I hope it doesn't turn sour on me.
That's not possible. You're making it up, Herman.
Decent.
Indeed! Another reason to have a drink. That's why I left my wife at home.
God,
A good idea. This is soldiers' business.
That's
That's good too.
You're up,
But
my
you could
friend.
throw better.
Have you lost your mind? You're going to lose everything.
Every prelate comes down with cholera.
If I was you, I'd take it. Let it be now. I want to play too, you know. Maybe you should have saved it.
That was a good game, friends.
Aye, Every game is good when you fatten your purse.
Ah, Lady Fortune gives and takes by turns. A few groschen, one way or the other, won't ruin me.
But you're still in debt to me, though.
Well, that's true. I apologize for what I said. I wasn't being serious. No offense, friend. I just wanted a bit of fun.
And the Bethlehem Chapel hosts a preacher called
Jan Hus.
Hey, blacksmith's boy. What are you doing there? Get over here. Come on, Henry. You can have a drink afterwards.
What's the problem?
What do you think? I don't have time for nonsense.
I thought a good old feast would cheer you up.
You call this a good feast? Nothing but puffed up peacocks sucking up to each other, pretending they don't smell of dung. And the Chamberlain. My God. I can't take another moment of that fool.
Ah, sod the Chamberlain. He's a conceited idiot.
And how many battles has he won, eh?
You heard Lord Von Bergov. He trusts him.
Ulrich is a master of the quill, that's all. By the way, thanks for standing up for me.
You're welcome. I definitely trust you more in battle than him.
When push comes to shove, I won't be paying much heed to that buffoon's orders.
I understand. But this is the only way to get revenge for the massacre by the pond. That band of cutthroats killed our men as well. And we don't have a chance against them on our own.
Oh, maybe. You know what? I've had enough. I'm going to bed. But don't you forget to stop by the smithy for my sword and armor. And fetch some wine from Catherine. If you want my advice, try not to get too shit-faced. We've got a battle to fight tomorrow.
Don't worry. I'll take care of it.
All right. Good night then, Henry.
Ha! It didn't take you long to find fame, my friend. Your stories are just priceless. A downright tragic ballad.
Hose away. But don't get too close to me in the heat of battle.
What have we here? Your wits are quick, my friend. Tell me, what really happened?
We have a poet among us, eh?
Me, a poet? I leave that sort of thing to Florian there. Women swoon in his arms, and then men swoon in exasperation. There's a poetic soul for you, if only his verses were any good.
Seems Florian makes your blood boil, eh?
Aye, he's too big for his boots. He needs to be taught a lesson. Wouldn't you like to help me? You do have a sense of humor, right?
Tell me more. I'll be glad to help you.
Excellent. I need to get Florian back for one of his jokes. It should hurt him a little.
What did he do to you?
He persuaded a certain damsel to let him dress up in her clothes. When I sang beneath her window one evening, they all thought it was hilarious. And that twit threw lilacs down to me from the window.
How awful. How do you want to get your revenge? Challenge him to a duel?
Nothing of the sort. No violence. We'll just make fun of him a little. I know that one damsel gave him a ring, and it'd be interesting to slip the ring to her best friend.
Now that sounds like a pretty cruel joke. But I'll be happy to help. Where can I find the ring?
He's bound to have it in the chest next to his bed at the very top of Crone Tower.
Ah, now I see why you don't fancy going there.
Well, the most important thing is that everyone sees I'm here, but nobody will notice if you leave. All you have to do is bring it to me unobserved. I'll take care of the rest.
I have a little gift for you.
Oh, how sweet. Tell me, who is it from?
One shy friend who was afraid you'd reject him.
Ooh, and what does he want from me?
To dedicate a few verses to your beauty. From his heart.
What? I know that ring. Florian! What's going on? What are you doing, fool?
Fool? You know him. You wanted to cheat on me.
No, it's not...
Two-faced cheat swine!
Wait, I can explain. He must have stolen that ring from me.
What? Traitor! I never want to see you again!
Bloody merchants prostrating themselves before the king just to get noble titles.
If you want to play at lovebirds, you must offer more than words. Words can charm, delight, or flatter, but she'll need more to let you at her. For gifts will always unlock her heart, and even her most private part.
Unchaste, but smart.
Well, Florian is all done in. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Aha! Of course! You set him up nicely. I almost felt sorry for him.
No mercy, and joking aside. That's what you said, wasn't it?
Aye, he'll get over it. I owe you a reward. Here you are, my friend. And if you need help with anything, just say the word. Be with you.
Shall we have a chat, bonny lad?
This is Henry, my lady.
Can I help you, my lady?
This is Johanka of Zhernov, Henry.
Pleased to meet you.
I know who you are. My companions here talked about you. And the stories were somewhat madcap, if you don't mind me saying so.
Nothing more than a couple of silly misunderstandings.
The pond, the stocks, and the gallows. Quite a nice series of misunderstandings, if you ask me.
Your life was on the line more than once, young man.
You're right, Father. And not just my life, Lord Capon's as well.
Well, that sounds interesting. Won't you tell me about it? I'd love to hear about adventures right from their hero himself.
I'll be glad to tell you my story. Where to begin?
The best place to begin is at the beginning, isn't it?
You're right, of course. That would be best. Our friend Margrave Jobst would like to end this absurd war. That's why he sent us here to Trosky. It's a long way from our home in Ratai. So we made camp by a pond to bathe a bit before presenting ourselves to the local lord. We didn't have time for that, because a band of cutthroats suddenly attacked us. They killed without mercy, and our men had no chance against them. We had no choice but to jump into the water and swim for our lives. I still don't know how I didn't drown. I can't swim, you see.
Truly divine intervention, my son. God clearly wanted you to be saved.
Truly shocking and terrifying. Tell me, what awful thing happened next?
It was a bloodbath, my lady. Then they followed us into the rocks and chased us through that labyrinth like rabbits. I thought we were done for. There was no way out. Nothing around but rocks and pitch black night.
I see your lives really were in danger. You are truly brave.
We were saved by a good-hearted old woman. But later, we got involved in a tavern brawl. Well, the brawl was started by my Lord Capon, actually. Manual labor would have been too humiliating for him, you see. Even more humiliating than having the local guards pour, slops over us, it would seem.
No, that is truly awful.
But it's true. Everyone thought we were stinking vagabonds, which led to a whole misunderstanding.
Bailiff Thrush put them in the stocks.
Yeah, like I said, they took us for ragamuffins.
Fair enough. But out with it now. Why did they punish you?
That was nothing, really. But the bailiff didn't see it that way. Probably because it was his son who got a thrashing.
Excellent. I think people are wrong about you. You're a sincere and brave young man, Henry.
and rather entertaining company.
Yes, I agree. It's a pity my good friend didn't hear your story. She would have been very interested.
Who do you mean, my lady?
Unfortunately, she just went outside to get some fresh air. But the easiest way to put that right would be to go and find her. Would you escort me, Sir Knight?
Certainly, my lady. I'd be honored to escort you.
Excellent. I'm sure the learned gentlemen will excuse us, won't they? It's a lovely night outside, and it's a little stuffy in here, so a walk will do me good. Come on. A lovely summer night. It was horribly stuffy inside. Thanks for rescuing me from the claws of those two old vultures.
Yeah, of course. But I thought...
I know what you thought. Some men are terribly slow-witted, that's all. Like my late husband. But maybe I underestimated you, eh?
I don't think you're the kind to fall for pretty poems.
Well. Finally an exception that proves the rule.
I'm no good at poetry anyway.
That's enough talk, silly. Embrace me. Let's enjoy this night. It wasn't made for sleep, after all.